Mahunu video bina mediama MCR Madaroma badges for Lord Paul Boateng, or a member of the House of Lords in UK.
Yes, sir.
For sa video no etumu na yentie
Of Ghanaian descent.
That's right. For sa video no etumu na yentie because narrative ebi mo de nam no ene social media obehwe ne atwa mokomi ensa na de ato yesibuo nie
still reeling
bibi basa
in the aftermath of the COVID pandemic. A pandemic which exposed for all to see and for all of us to experience the fragility of both global supply in Europe, whose repercussions have spread way beyond the Ukraine and that continent and affect us all. 60% of workers today in our world have a lower real income than they had before the pandemic. 60% and rising of the poorest countries in the world are in a state of debt crisis or at real risk of it. And the latest figures from the World Food Programme suggest that as many as 309 million people are facing acute levels of food insecurity. For all, domestic food price inflation remains stubbornly high. There's no country in the world that has not experienced domestic food price inflation. The reality is that in both low and middle income countries, that's a phenomenon that is widely experienced, and higher energy costs, trade restrictions, and a loss of fertilizer supply from the Russian Federation and from Belarus have led to fertilizer prices rising even faster than food prices. Ask any farmer that. Ask any farmer that, and that is their experience. We live in a world still reeling in the aftermath of the COVID pandemic. A pandemic which exposed for all to see and for all of us to experience the fragility of both global supply lines and global health systems. A pandemic which saw a widening of the gap between the richest and the poorest of our world, between and within nations, and which was then followed by a
Oskeni Papa Narikasa. Why am I there, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Narikasa?
Okay.
Why am I there, Nana Addo Akufo, the President of the Republic of Ghana Narikasa? I can relate to 99% of what he's saying to President Akufo Addo. His speeches are on me during the COVID pandemic. To be frank, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, after the pandemic, Obeme's speech, almost the Ukraine-Russia war, fertilizer, maize, bauxite, the main Obekeng, world trade fragility, oil to be frank, with the world food inflation across the world is astronomical. To be frank, food prices are food inflation and food prices all kosoro wo Ghana no ninyina oyedam challenges no you'll face as a country. There is no country in the world that more can our own face them challenges are facing. But the truth is that urban food insecurity wa Ghana sanana do danko Akufo Addo so one start planting for food and jobs. Make sure they all provide farmers with seedlings. We'll support cocoa farmers. We'll employ agri extension officers. So one starting time in Adamai Osia. There will be a huge gap Even though prices of food would have gone up, it won't be available in the market.
You be fall under the situation na UK.
You won't get it. Yes.
Now that
is it. I have a lot of friends across Europe and America. I have a lot of friends across Europe and America because I'm fortunate to have stayed there. Look, Oskeni, for my 10 years of my adulthood, I'm acquainted Abrichi. The past 2 years saw a lot of food inflation in Europe. To be frank,
after
COVID-19, between 2022 June, 2023 June, the 1 year no. The period national Russian and Ukraine war no see. To be frank, eco Central Europe and why what did Juma was Central Europe? I'm talking of Italy, Germany, France, Spain, Belgium, Luxembourg, Croatia. About 80% of Anwano of Russia in the Ukraine Noba.
To me, 101.3
of Russia and the Ukraine Noba. It's a challenge in a bano. Oskeni equal market supermarket naked anwa. They will not allow you to buy 2 liters. Or that 1 liter they could use osan na asanaba na bottle. Until automatically the price of them products in obokoso. Skinny. That is the reality. To be frank, former President Mahama is on record has the Okol London School of Economics, Okol Harvard School of Economics, Okome speech. He's on record to have said there, COVID-19 and Russia and Ukraine war has devastated the world economic situation. As a result of that, developing countries like Ghana, you suffer. But you see, because of politics, your finance ministers across the world no name solutions where then one from bra I will to what solve them problems. As a result, they've been where then will see one job. UK, the then UK finance minister, he has to lose his job. Hey, money, Paul Boateng, or Ghanaian decent. He's member of the Council of Lords. As someone can, that is the truth. But you see, when you are in a difficult situation, what's the no when you be no way didn't win your prizes or then overflow. It's a leader, you are caught in between the two. So you have to make sure that you work tirelessly to make sure that a demand are available. That is the first thing. But then make sure that the demand are available. Price, yes, if you have the price now, but that one we can have the conversation because it is important. A demand in what they are not in the situation why worse. But the ban are available. Look, fuel prices cost out to 23. Still full and short to Ghana. Gas and short to Ghana. Because government believes that let me make sure the fuel are available whilst we think through. To the extent that you do the hit of them crisis. Fuel price is called 23 cedis, 50 pesos per liter. Until government went back, sat down, what think you through, what the oil gold for oil policy, other what cut some subventions now gradually I don't know then all before now world market price and also start all before today 1 liter of diesel is about 1480, almost 9 cedis difference. Yeah, you can see economic growth first quarter of the year 2024 is 4.7. For the past 3 years, it tells you the policies are then finance minister Ken Oforiatta, the economic team, then the current finance minister Ibrahim Anda were putting in place a well managed economy. It is bearing fruit. It is only a matter of time. That is why Akufo Addo, the first fellow Ghanaian speech, I see. I'm a much Ghana for one health.
To me, 101.3.
I'm a Ghana for because economy the policy are implementing about my economy no challenges baba going forward. Now so them challenges on them there Yebotum, yeah, then. Yeah, requirement, you know. Mo choose the life of the Ghanaian citizen because Ghana ni na no say you the pandemic oh yen to me then yen fanemba. That is why majority of Ghanaians bear with this government in spite of the challenges that we go through. Look, them American, it been what we use the May election, they don't want to come up with policies and programs. Challenges are able to me then they are resolved. Whilst Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia around all can ne agri policy ne in Addo implementing the opposition leader no on father mad number but rather functionaries of them what from Moko 5 no wait your picture no what about to social media what's say Moko 5 cities aba abanini what for akwauna 2 no wait your picture what say akwauna 2 or your sister cities aba abani. The question is that onye de no bunini awo nurse the Ghana phone to abamo na be ye leader no abadi na ebotu ma aye madam prices no why then Akufo
but talks I na me bisa me ho say sa nkomo aye di nyina no eye a wo mote especially the Lord Paul Boateng asem a wo kan wo ya aware
they are aware but you see when they told them line when they told them line wonya asamanka
and it's very bad
wonya asamanka and that is what I call intellectual dishonesty. Intellectual dishonesty. That is why a whole doctor or your communicator for the NDC coming to explain 24 hours economy. On two months the 24 hours on I know warren yan jata war ranch him one yan son war ranch him no what the plane what the bamuni the ban. He still does not accept the fact that look maybe a year drew no onye damo nyamano na ye here you hear well thought through policies and programs obey. That is why Dr. Bawumia he takes his time to explain to the people. Since our a journalist, a top journalist, maybe saw the President Mahama ne agri policy on the moina. That is the point. It is a functionary of the NDC. Ne quote for tomatoes and cocoa 5 next to 20 cities. A quote for annual 10 next to 20 cities. You believe? Okay, let me shock you.